Let's go fishing.
Let's go fishing.
I'm on a mission.
I'm on a mission.
It's so pretty, I'd sure hate to waste this chance. We'll find a shady little spot, not too cool, not too high.
Okay guys, down here in South Florida, the temperature's dropping down, getting down in the 30s at night now, here in January. I think it's January 11th. And this is what I do. It works for me. I mean, Brian showed it to me, and it catches fish. I mean, it really does. But you take, these are ice fishing spoons right here, like there. You can get these at GARRARD Tackle Shop, guys. Take these ice fishing spoons right here. And right there, and you take a 1/8 ounce, wind blowing, I have to make sure stuff don't blow out. 1/8 ounce weight. You can use any weight, it don't matter. An 1/8 ounce weight, and I'll show you how you do it here on the rod. Situated here. But you put a drop weight on there. Put a drop weight on it, and I get her untangled. Takes a little while. I'll edit this out. I'll edit this untangling out. Okay. Here you got the little ice, or the ice jig. You see right there, that little ice jig. And you come up here, put a leader on it, about 3-foot leader. I mean, pretty long leader. And you take your weight. You know, you can use any weight, just enough to hold it right straight down. Take your weight up here, and you got your leader back here. Okay, you got your leader back here. And I'm not, remember, 4-pound test line, no heavier. And then you take your shiner, guys, you take your shiner. Now this is called pushing. Okay, and I lost it. Get another one out of here, man. This is called pushing. And this is when the conditions are really like they are right now. It's being 30 degrees. And it's tough. Because I hold on to my minis this morning, it's so cold. That's the way I like it there. I like it like that. Try this again. There we go. There we got one. These are slimy little rascals too. But anyhow, you take your mini, hook it right on that ice jig, like that right there. Right there. Now what that does is when you're pushing that ice jig is kind of like a little spoon. It's moving that thing back and forth. And you just take it, drop it right straight down, guys. Drop this right straight down in front of your boat, and just barely move. Barely move, guys. Just barely move. You see how it is. And down here's the weight. Okay, right there's the weight. And 3-foot of line, 4-pound test, suffix, and right there's your bait. And then you just take this. I'll spin this around up here to my rod holder. Take this and just drop it right straight down in front of the boat. You gotta be careful because you gotta go real slow and pushing. Just drop that right straight down in front of the boat, like that. Right there. Clear to the bottom. You get clear to the bottom. Go clear to the bottom. Okay, you're on bottom. Come up about 1 foot, 2 foot. Of course, where the fish are suspended, that's where you want to come. And I'll put out 6 of them like that. I'm not putting no 8 of them out like that. I'll put 6 of them out like that, and just kind of ease up through here. All right, kind of turn this around a little bit. So, there you go. Look at that. See, I got that turned around right there. Now I'll do 3 or 2 more on this side, and I'll do the other 3 on the other side, and I'll ease up through here real slow. And, angle these around a little bit. in. I'll do the other on the other side, so make them up here and we'll just do a little pushing one. Of course, I'm using Mafia rods. I got Shimano reels, guys. I like these Shimano reels better than the rest of them. They're a little pricey, but they hold up a lot better. Yeah, they hold up a lot better, I think, than the cheaper ones. You know, that's Shimano is the way to go. You can get all this stuff at GARRARD Tackle Shop, you know, and like I said, right here, Skipper's Jigs, guys, right there, man. That's going to be the ticket right there. So I got to make up 5 more of them, and we'll see how we do. I'll just turn this off first. Well, guys, the full moon's coming up here before long, and I got the rigs out there and pushing. Like I said, I had the weight on there, then I had the little ice spoon on the back tipped with a mini, and I no longer got them in there, and I started catching fish. It's just a real delicate, you might say, or soft presentation, finesse fishing at its best for crappie. I mean, it's just that long leader and that 4-pound test line gives that mini such a natural look down there. When you're moving around, that little spoon there on that 3-foot leader is wiggling with the mini. I mean, there's so much action there. I mean, you're going to catch fish. That's just all there is to it. And it's, like I said, it got down to 30s last night, and I thought, oh man. So I wasn't going to troll right off the bat. I let the sun heat up a little bit, and I thought, well, I'll try this rig here that Brian was telling me about, and boy, it works. I'm telling you right now, if you want to put some fish in the boat and the conditions are really tough, you need to try that. Put that 1/8 ounce weight there, and then you put that long leader on there and put that little spoon here. You can get all that stuff down there at the tackle shop off of Leaf and Caleb and Richard, and rig you up a couple poles like that. Again, I would use 4-pound test line. That's just me. But I did have a couple break on me. I mean, on that 4-pound test line with that leader, they broke right where the sinker was, and that's a weak spot on it. And they were pound and a half of crappie, and they just, you know, I horsed them a little bit too much, and they broke. But yeah, I just kept. You don't sit still with that, okay? What you do is you look at your electronics up there and find out where the fish are, and just start moving around, and just real slow. I mean, you got to keep that line right straight down, because you don't want it pulled back here towards the electric motor. Just keep it right straight down and move around. And then when you start getting into them, I just went around and around circles there. And when I get one, I just, you know, stop and let it soak here for a minute, and then pick them up again. And this is another good way of catching crappie, because the presentation is just so natural for them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I don't know, it's just the weight down there has got that line behind it. It's kind of like a miniature Carolina rig, you might say, for crappie. But yeah, I've never done it before. I never used it, and Brian was telling me about it. He does it all the time. He's got 14-foot rods he does it with. But yeah, I mean, you can see it. It definitely produces the bait or tackle, or I'm sorry, the crappie. I mean, you know, that kind of a tackle setup. It just, you know, just one right after another there for about an hour and a half. I mean, I don't know how many I caught. I threw them all back. I don't need no more. I got plenty. But yeah, I just started drifting around there. I was going to go on up the canal there a little bit, but shoot, I ran into them there, and that one, you know, and I just kept just going around real slow and having that them. I was about a foot off the bottom with them 1/8 ounce weights. You know, I'd let it go down, then I'd come up about 12 inches, and you know, and I was showing you I was catching. I mean, it catches everything. I mean, it catches even the real small bluegill, but then it gets up to you can catch pound and a half crappie with it. I mean, because it's just such a natural thing going on down there. I mean, even the real small fish grab it. But what I found out is when you get start getting a small crappie, they're really quick. You know, they grab the bait. But the big ones, if you stay right there and catch a few of them small ones, then you'll catch a big one. You know, because them small ones are really quick about grabbing the mini. You could also put like a trailer of a worm on there. You know, you could put a red worm or a piece of night crawler on the back of that and troll around and catch bluegill and cichlids. You know, that kind of a presentation. You could just ease around and catch about any kind of panfish doing that. And I caught a few catfish too. I caught a few small catfish doing that, but I really don't want to catch them catfish because boy, they make a mess of everything. They'll wrap up around the other lines, but you know, that's why you want to try to keep it about a foot off bottom and not let it lay right on bottom, soak on bottom, and you usually don't have to deal too much with the catfish, but. Sometimes it's kind of hard if the wind's blowing to try to maintain that kind of fishing. If the wind's blowing real hard, it'd be really hard to do that because it would be pushing you around. But wind wasn't blowing really hard, and I just barely had the electric motor moving. Now, if the wind was blowing hard and pushing you, it would pick your bait right up off. It would pick your bait up out of the strike zone. I could see. But you can see I'm just moving around real slow. And picking them up. I'm picking them up, just moving around real slow. I wore a coat all day. I mean, it didn't get much warmer. It was like in the 30s this morning when I first got in there. But that wind blowing, it was probably down in the 20s, you know. Everybody was bundled up like I said, the abominable snowman this morning when I come into the ramp. Some guys run out the lake and done some jigging. I mean, I wasn't going out in the lake with that high wind because I'll stay in the canal and catch a few fish. That's good enough for me. I got plenty in the freezer. I don't need none. I'll just throw them all back. I just kept going back and forth real slow. I just kept picking them up. I mean, I was wanting to go on down the canal there and try it a little bit, but there's so much boat traffic down there this time of year. You just got to be careful. And I'm moving around back and forth, going real slow. It's not like trolling. I can get over out of their way. But this kind of technique is you're just crawling, and if you pick it up too fast, you'll get some tangled up. So I just stayed up above. Now I would have liked to went down and tried it down there where the big ones was, but see, there's a pretty good one right there. But I didn't. Everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere. Yeah, I'm showing you that size of that one, and then the spoon there, the old spoon, he sucked her down there. Just another good way of getting you a mess of fish. Fishing was supposed to have been poor today, but it was pretty good for me. I mean, I talked to other guys, and they's catching them too. So that full moon's coming up next week. I'm telling you right now, the females should be moving in. Bass and crappie. moved on down the canal and put out my trolling rods and started catching them trolling down there, and there was a couple other guys trolling down there. I was pretty well done after, you know, I'd been up there pushing them minis on them spoons for a good while, and I was having a good time, and I was kind of had enough, but I thought, well, I'll go down there and see if I can catch a few, and I did. But I got down there and there was a couple other guys down there trolling, so I just caught a few and turned around and went back, you know. But the trolling thing's really catching on down here. I mean, that's a quick way of getting a bunch of fish, guys. If you've never done it, you need to try it. Take a few minutes, and you don't need a bunch of poles, a couple poles or 4 poles at the most. You know, I usually have 6 poles out, but you know, I take people fishing, and I got to keep that kind of a presentation, you might say, of 6 poles, because people want, you know, they want to mess fish when they come down there and pay for a fishing trip. But I caught them on Mafia spinners, and I caught a couple on the spoon, and I caught one on a rooster tail, and I caught one on a Meps. It was just kind of a variety today, you might say. It wasn't one lure, but that Mafia twister tails, that blue and chartreuse, that's my old bread and butter, man. I always catch fish on them, that blue and chartreuse. Another good thing about trolling is you don't have to measure them. If you're going to keep them as fish, I mean, they're all good size usually when you get them, especially on that bigger Mafia spinners or twister tail and spinner. They're just, you know, they're a good size crappie. But see how that's got the pole bent. You can tell, you can always tell a good one when you're bringing them in. They got that old pole bent, and they don't come to the top of the water. These great big ones like this, they'll pull down and fight, and they'll jump. And, you know, they're fun to catch on ultralight, you know, in 4-pound tests. I'm not sure what I caught this one on. I'm going to show you right here what I caught it on. Let's see. Okay, there you go. You know.
Gray rooster tail.
Big crappie. Have a nice crappie down here. That's them, I call them sandwiches, you know.
I do not. I got enough.
So they call them sandwiches.
Well,
You get one that size, that makes a pretty good sandwich once you take the fillets off of it.
Now I'm going to be pulling this afternoon.
Bluebird sky, guys. Bluebird sky, and this cool weather's got the water crystal clear down there. And I'm in Indian Prairie though, guys. I'll tell you what's going on down there too. On the ramp, this water's dropping down, and that ramp is getting to be a bear. At the end of that ramp, it's all busted up, and when you back down in there, you got to be real careful and real slow backing in there, because you'll tear stuff up. Hopefully, when they gets real low, the water gets low, they'll go down there and put a little concrete on the end of that thing. But the end of it's busted off, you know. So you want to be careful if you back down in there with your trailer. Let's see what I caught that one. I think I caught it on caught a couple on spoons, on that little spoon that I always use. Yeah, right there.
Spoon.
And there's a little spoon. That's been a killer too. That and the Mafia twister tails seems like and the rooster tails and the Meps have been producing. So good deal. This one here is on a Meps. Another good morning, guys, on Lake Okeechobee crappie fishing. If you want to go, give me a call, 304-398-5215.
I'll show you what I caught that one on.
rascal.